cup at a time. Yeah, this is tea time. Yeah, making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time. Making a difference. One cup at a time. Tea time. Tea time.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. That's right. It's tea time again with Miss Liz. And today in the studio, I have an incredible man from Israel. So I'm just going to read the disclaimer of Miss Liz's Tea Time shows. Then I'm going to get into his bio. And then I'm going to bring the incredible Hanoch Rapaport up, and we will have an incredible tea time. We've been sitting in the back studio just having a good old time, but I'm going to get into our tea time. So before we start any tea time this year, because of the topics that we are sharing, there is a disclaimer. So Miss Liz is going live using StreamYard, as you can see. Before leaving a comment, please authentic yourself with YouTube or Facebook. So I know that you have verified yourself. Please be advised that the content brought forward for any tea time show hosted by Miss Liz, myself, is always brought forward in good faith, however, may bring forward dialogue and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the given time of airing. All tea time guests and audience participants are responsible for using their good judgment in taking any action that may relate to the discussion. The content brought forward may include discussions for somewhere they may be emotional at risk. It is significant to know that this show is engaging in discussions forms only to offer and inspire awareness and connection, and is not providing therapeutical advice. If you have any questions about this disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact Miss Liz, myself, through my email bookingmissliz@gmail.com, or check me out on my link tree. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in this show in any aspect, Miss Liz, myself, I welcome you. And should you decide that the show is not for you at this time, I respect that choice, and I will see you in a further episode of Tea Time. So now let's get into the incredible Hanoch. And I hope I'm saying his name right. Once I bring him up to the studio, he will let me know if I'm saying it right. Incredible man. So Hanoch Rapaport was born in Israel in November 1963, living in Netavana. He did his high school in ORT, Netavana, and studied electricity, a profession that he will continue for many years to come. He was enlisted in 1983 and started his service. However, due to health issues, he left after about 6 months and continued his service for 2 more years as a regular soldier. After the Army, he started studying electrical engineering and teaching certificate at ORT Netavana College. Immediately after that, he started working as an electrical teacher for about 5 years. After about 5 years, he left and went to work in the electricity industry. He worked for about 5 years in the industry, supervising, managing, and performing electrical work in all kinds of places in the country. In 1998, he started working as an electrical inspector at the Teatime, and after about a year, he had to undergo a failed kidney transplant. After about 10 months of dialysis treatments, he had a second transplant that was successful and returned to work as an electrical supervisor at the Teatime for about 15 years. After 55 years, this life should be treated with the gentleness it deserves. And it is not that there is suddenly a special understanding. It is a matter of a perspective of life that proves to us again and again that we are a part of the whole and not separated from or controlled by it. I'm going to bring him up to the studio and we will share a little bit more on his bio. But if you would like to read his full bio, you can check out Miss Liz's Teatime on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all those good places. So I'm going to bring the incredible Hanoch up in the studio so we can have a good old tea time. So welcome, Hanoch. I hope I'm saying your name right.
It's called Hanoch. Hanoch.
Oh, Hanoch. See, I wasn't
Yeah.
even close.
and 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 it's Natanya, but never mind. It's okay.
No. I need that because I need to learn. So
Okay. When I work with the Intel, and then when they build the factory in Kiryat Gat, so they didn't call me Hanoch. They didn't. It's difficult to say Hanoch, so they called me Hanoch. It's better for them. So Hanoch is good.
I think it's because of the letters, right? The way it's spelled.
Yes.
Well, it is an honor to have you here on Tea Time. So, like I was saying in your bio, you really have an inspiring story. And I really wanted to get that out there and to teach everyone the importance of self-love, because your story is based on self-love and overcoming what you've come. So share a little bit about yourself, not from what I've read on the bio, but just a little bit about who you are, your hobbies, and all that good stuff.
Most of my life, I just the whole the program was you get up, you go to work, you come home, you take care of the kids. It's like very usual. But the things that I love more when I come home is just to sit outside with my son, to drink some good old wine and just talk about how was the day. It's like you have to leave from yourself all what you had today and just forget about it. It's the best moments of the day. And there is two things. When we get up in the morning, me and my wife, we do breakfast together, we sit together, we eat. It doesn't matter when I go home, when I go to work. It's the time that I need. It's the best moments of the day, the start of the morning and the end of the day. In the between, whatever you do, it's good. But you need the started and you need the finish, and this makes you the day.
Well, that's right. If you start off good and you end off good, then you have a good day.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I love to listen to music, good music. I like jazz. I love the sea. I love the sun and summer, but I couldn't be in the summer too much because of my skin. I have cancer of the what do you see on the ground?
Oh, the lymph nodes.
Yeah. So I'm taking care of myself. But this is the beautiful things. This is the life. When I like to travel, and I did a tour guide course, and when I'm traveling, I'm to look at the flower, to look how the nature is shaped. It's amazing. You have to be enjoying everything that you see, and then you see the minutes of your day goes by better.
So you really like the sun, but you can't go in the sun, but you like the sun. So
Yeah.
so what is it about the sun that you like?
It's the smile, it's the light, it's the brightness.
The brightness.
It's the brightness. It's like everything is light and shining. It's a new life. It's a born. It's a newborn. It's a new beginning. It's always, in the ancient time, whenever the sun took out, and then it's a wonder. it's a wonder every day. It's absolutely a wonder.
Well, and I think that you look at life like that, Hanoch, because of what you've gone through, right? The kidney transplant, the cancer. The cancer's in remission right now, I believe, right?
Yes, 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 absolutely.
So, what has those taught you about yourself?
It taught me that it's in every one of us there is the strength to fight it, to win it, to overcome it. So when I had the kidney transplant, there was a moment in my first transplant. I was lying in the hospital bed, and before they put you into the surgery, and you're lying on a bed. It's not a bed. It's a flat board, metal board, and you
Oh,
are completely naked with a small blanket on you, and it's freezing in the operation room, and you see what what I'm doing. I'm just a meat that's gonna be, you know, you feel like worthless. You don't know what to do there.
yeah.
So this is the time when you see and you think, okay, it's a temporary. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna be in another place afterward. So always to think ahead. And the trend, it's there in every one of us. You don't have to look at it. It's there. You just have to look inside and just to give it a way, to give it an opening to get out. You know, you don't have to be in a special courage or whatever to look for the fear inside. It's it's there. You just have to let it go out.
And you've actually gone through two transplants, correct?
Yes. I had the first one was for my mother, and when she knew that I have a problem with my kidneys, I had a smallpox, small fox,
Oh yeah, smallpox. Yeah.
smallpox. Yes, when I was 26, and the kidney had a kidney disease, and the kidney last for 10 years. And when my mother heard that I had to do a transplant, she wanted to donate her kidney, and she was around 62, and she insists to donate the kidney, and we made a transplant, but she was old, and the kidney was weak, and it didn't match my body perfectly. And I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and every day the nurse came in the morning. She take a blood test to see how the kidney is performing, and every day I told her, "Okay, today it will be good results." She said, "Okay, but it's been a week, and there is the result. The odds it's not so good." I said, "No, today it will be good." And after 3 weeks, it failed. So I had to made a dialysis. And she said, "Your optimism and your wish that it will be good every day, it's remarkable." So every day I said, "Today it will be better. Today it will be better." I never stopped believing.
Well,
And
and that's what we talked about in the backstage, right? Earlier before the show was staying positive and staying engaged to move forward, that
yes,
the mindset, having a good healthy mindset helps a lot.
absolutely. You know, I did a dialysis for around 10 months.
Okay.
And when you do the dialysis, You have to sit down in a chair with two needles, and one that takes your blood out and one that bring the blood in, and it circulates in the machine that clean your blood.
Okay.
You have to sit there for 4 hours without moving, because
Wow.
if you move, the needle will break. The needle will move into your vein and make you this blood, and you have to sit for 4 hours. And I said, what am I doing 4 hours without moving? And I decided that it couldn't be like that.
Yeah.
So you have to do dialysis three times a day, 3 times a week. So every time I get a few friends that we did dialysis together, and every time we brought wine and drinks and cheese or sausage or whatever. And every dialysis we did a meal and we talk about politics and without everything, just to make the time that we are sitting enjoyable. Even though it's difficult, even though it's the worst time that you can imagine to yourself. It's I tried to make it the best. It was good period of time that we sit with friends and we drink and we sat and the nurses deliver us the food. And I said, okay, we are not coming to dialysis, we are coming to a feast 3 times a day, 3 times a week. And it was like that. It was like that.
Well, and I think the sense of humor, right? You need that sense of humor as well to stay strong.
Yeah, yes, you have to look at yourself and not just a sense of humor. You have to know to make uh, fun with yourself, to enjoy, to do from every lemon to do a lemonade.
Exactly. Oh, I like that. Because I put lemon in my tea. So there we go. We got our lemonade tea.
Yes, absolutely. You have to enjoy whatever you do. Even if it's worse, when I did that, when I had a cancer and I had the treatment, and the treatment it's very painful. It's very painful. You have to sit for 2 hours with chemical that rain through your body, and it's worse. And it's so difficult. And I used to sit and read some books, or talk or make some fun, just to make the time work more fast.
Yeah.
To trying to enjoy whatever it is.
Well, and like we said in the back studio, you're like a little Superman, but you're like, I'm not a
I'm not a
Superman.
Superman.
But you have overcome a lot of things in your life.
I'm trying.
Like you've had smallpox, you've had a double transplant for your kidneys, you've had cancer. You are an overcomer, and I think it has a lot to do with your mindset, because you're such a happy-go-lucky, positive, look for the future, kind of guy. And you got your feet on the ground, like you told me earlier. So you're planted. You ain't going anywhere.
I'm planted like the trees. Absolutely like the trees. When I did the second transplant, I bought a kidney. I bought a kidney and I paid 100,000. It's 100,000, yeah. And I made a transplant in Cape Town, South Africa. And I bought a kidney from someone, and he ran. He didn't get up to the meeting, to the flight. And I said, what I'm doing now? I lost $20,000 about the transplant, the kidney, and I didn't know what to do. And you start thinking, is it worth it? Should I do that? Should I go and try again. And I had a few days of like thinking, and then I said, okay, I'm doing it again. And I found another one, and we went to South Africa, and I met a transplant, and it was successful. And I'm 20 years afterward, and I'm feeling good. So just look ahead and keep on going. Just keep on going.
Well, and you have that determination, right? Because look at you paid $100,000 for a kidney because you wanted to live. You were
Yes,
finding a resource to live. How many
absolutely.
people would go that length to go to get a second
I
kidney?
think a lot. I think a lot. When I have a partner. My wife is my best partner, and she said to me, "You can't leave me with 4 kids. You can't leave me. You just do what you have to do to be back and strong." And she is my best partner. She is my life. She helped me overcome everything. So we do that together. And and I'm doing it.
So how long have you been married for?
Oh, 32 years.
Oh wow, congratulations. High five.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
that is incredible. We don't see these long marriges anymore, and I think that's very important as well, right? Because we have that support, like you said, like she's your best friend, you know.
absolutely.
We really need that support, and you can see that you have that support because you're a go-getter and you got a good sense of humor, so I'm sure that's why she loves you. Like
Hope so.
you hope so. I don't want to
Yeah.
get you in any trouble here.
No, 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 it's okay. You're not. Yeah, no.
So when we were in backstage, you said that you wanted to share a story about your brother. I'd love to hear that story.
Yeah, my brother was in Lebanon War in '82, and he was a commander of tank. And there was attack on his tank, and there was a time that the 2 tanks are they shoot another one, and one tank's in a state in a position to watch, and one tank is firing. And after he was in watch, and the tank that he saw got a direct hit. So he went into the tank, he jumped into the tank and took out 2 burning men outside.
Oh wow.
And one of them, he rolled on the sand, and he was with 95% burning. And he was a young boy from yeshiva, like Haredi boy,
Okay.
not Haredi, a study boy, from Torah and learning. And he saved his life. And then he went to visit him in a hospital and all, for a long time. And 5 years ago, I think 5 years ago, my brother was in a meeting, and he got a stroke. And when he got a stroke, they tried to bring him back alive, and there was an ambulance, and they took him to a hospital. And when they called me, and when I came to the hospital, he was in a coma. He was in a cold room,
Okay.
and he was not responding at all. And his wife came to him and said, I love you. I want to give you freedom. You can continue in your journey. And then after 5 days of a coma, he wake up and he start dreaming. And then he tells a story that he came from afterlife. He said that he was in a trial with God. There was a people that he saw, his grandfather, our parents that are dead for a long time. And then he was at trial, and the judge told him, okay, there is someone is speaking for you, and the someone that's speaking for you tells that you save his life. And he he's been in a judge and in a trial, and then they gave him a choice to went back to Earth to continue living or stay in the afterlife. And he decided to came back, and he tell his story. And after the war was around 40 years from now, and now they are good buddies, and are meeting every week and studying together and talking about the past. It's amazing story about afterlife, about what is out there. And
I get now why you wanted to share that story, because we were actually talking about the afterlife and your feet being planted and all of that good stuff. And for me, I do believe in the afterlife. And like you said, you're not, you're on the ground, you're earth planted.
yes, absolutely.
But
My life,
I do understand now, because I feel that there is an afterlife. There is after the journey. But let's enjoy the journey that we have here now, you know?
absolutely. I'm trying to join. I'm trying to enjoy the time that I'm being here. I don't know what there is afterlife, if there is an afterlife. My brother says there is. My purpose is to enjoy every time and every minute that I'm here, to do things that I love, to enjoy to surround myself with the people that I love, and to enjoy the time. And this is it.
Yeah.
Not more than that. Everything that comes along the way, if it's diseases or successes, it's it's part of the time. Trying to enjoy it. That's it. You know, I had a job as a superintendent in electricity. I was good in my job. I was very appreciated, and I said, okay, enough. I'm 25 years with electricity. It's time to change. It's time to do something else. It's time to enjoy the day. It's just like that.
Yeah.
You get up in the morning, you said, okay, from what I'm going to enjoy today.
What is it about electricity, Hanoch, that has really gotten you? Because you've done it for so long, and it's
Yes,
almost like it's like that's your passion.
30 years.
30
Yeah,
years is a long time to enjoy
I
something.
yeah, I study electricity, uh, even in the high school, and then in the academic, and it's my passion. I love electricity, but now I'm doing something for my soul. Me- it's I'm doing also that I'm doing with electricity. I'm helping friends. I'm reading papers. I'm doing that also. I do both things, but I'm doing in the time that I want. You know,
Yep.
it's when I want to do that and do that. When I'm not in force.
Do you feel that you're being pulled to self heal yourself with self love over the
I
electricity
think
now?
if you don't love yourself, it's very difficult to get out from the position that you are.
That
So
makes sense.
if you are sick or if you are in a bad position and you don't love yourself, it's very difficult to get out from the place that you are. So the self-love helps you to understand yourself and helps you to put yourself in other places, to climb, to get up,
Yeah.
to do some things different. And if you are aware to yourself, to what you are doing, to what you love, to what is difficult to you, what is not difficult to you, and you know what to do and what not to do. It's when I said to you that my feet is on the ground, I know that there is something or some things that I can't do. I'm not trying to do that because it's beyond my abilities. So my feet is on the ground. I know what I can and I know what I can't.
Yeah.
This is
Well, and I can see that your feet are on the ground because you like to work with electricity, right? And the energies of the land and the earth and the planet, you know, and with your self-healing and self-love and awareness of yourself, you're also trying to bring awareness to the way that we change and treat each other as human beings and the earth. If anybody, the viewers out there that are watching now or watching the replay, check out his bio. His bio is incredible, and like you speak on how we should start respecting the land again. you know
I went to do the tour guide course. It was a course for 2 years, very difficult course. And during the course, I learned to love this country. I learned to love this land. I learned to love the history. And as a tour guide, and here in the garden, I'm managing the ecologic botanical garden, the Technion. And when I'm doing a tour and I'm bringing my life and my vision into the tour and to the people, it's bringing a different perspective to the place, and it's bringing life to the silence. It brings something else. When you talk with passion, when you talk with love,
yeah.
when you are well to the surrounding, it gives new meaning, additional meaning to what you see.
Well, it makes you look deeper, right? It's like our cup
Yes,
of tea, right? We look deep in our tea. How we serve and who we are and what we do, the passion behind it. And it really makes me understand your tea a little bit more, Hanoch, because your feet are planted and you're in the garden and you're looking at the little things in life. Even through your transplant and your cancer, it was always like, I got to get through this, I got to push through. You're like
absolutely.
that plant that waters the seed all the time. We're gonna grow. We're gonna fall a little, but we're gonna grow. And I think that's where you have learned a lot about yourself through the self-love and self-awareness and that.
Absolutely.
So I want to get into your tea. So
Okay.
what is your T? So if I give you a letter TEA, what would your T be?
When you said tea, it's pops to me that it's teaching, it's evolving, it's being among friends. It's like everything to me. When you said tea, it's whatever you do, you teach, you bring yourself to others, you evolve with everything that you gone through, and you continue evolving every day or every minute, all the time until the time that you did. And to be among friends, this is the main. When you have friends and you're evolving and you are teaching and you have a good conversation, this is it. This is life.
You got a good strong cup of tea
Will
there,
be
bud.
life. Hmm?
You have a really good strong cup of tea.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it does tell me who you are as well, because teaching, that's what you've done in the past. You've been a teacher, you lectured, you're a
Yes.
supervisor, you're a manager, you're teaching all the time, and evolving. That's what you're doing right now. You're right here evolving at this moment because you're sharing your story, you're getting out there, and
It's,
among
it's my
friends,
it's
future.
my first time, and I was so afraid before the podcast. It's just
Everyone's
my
scared
first
of
time.
Miss Liz.
No, I'm not scared from Miss Liz, but it's the first time that I'm sharing the story for a lot of people in broadcast.
Yeah.
And it's like bringing it's go back, and I don't like to live in the past. I always look ahead. You know, there is a lot of people that living in the past. That, oh, it was good there. Oh, it always look ahead.
Yeah.
Always look what could be. How can I improve myself? How can I get better? How can I get more? Always like that.
Yeah. Well, it's like a cup of tea, right? When you're pouring the past into the present, into the future. You're drinking your cup. So you need the past to come to the present to go to the future, but you don't live in the past. You're
I don't
pouring
live in
it.
the past, and
You're sharing the past, but you're not there. You're here today, you're present, you're evolving today. So in the future you can be among friends and you can celebrate and have that big feast that you talked about. Like, we really have to understand that T is who we truly are. We are incredible individuals and human beings, that we overlook the big things. Enjoy the little things, like a simple cup
Mhm.
of tea. And I am really honored to have you as the first time, and to trust me with your story and to trust me with your time. I
Mhm.
really appreciate that, Hanoch. I really, truly. But you do owe me some kind of history from Israel, because I love history. So I'd like to know a little bit about Israel. What do you love about Israel?
Oh, a lot. Israel.
I love that.
No, 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 no. Just it's the word. Israel. Israel was first. Let's talk about Judaism before
Okay.
we talk about Israel, because when you understand history and you understand that there is a one God for the Christian or for the Judaism or for the Muslim, and you understand that the this land was promised
Yeah.
to Moses, and it was a bond between God and Abraham. This land will be to his children, and Israel, as I see that as a country, okay, I don't know a country that in 70 years done so much things as this country. This country has become one of the best in high tech, one of the best in invention. There's so many Nobel prizes in all kind of in chemistry and physics, and they did so many things in so little time. Consider to USA or Canada or Brazil, whatever. So there is the mingling of the people here. There is people here from Syria, and people here from Louvre, and people here from Poland, or from Romania, or from Iraq, and from all the world. The mix here is so unique. The the language, everything here is beautiful. It's compacted, and you have everything inside. So it's very unique, and the history is so. It is Israel is in a bridge between Africa and Asia. So everybody who's anyone went through this area. So there's a lot of history and a lot of stories here. So it's a very beautiful place. All the history of Jesus was in Israel. All the history of Muhammad, the prophet of the Muslim that went to the sky, was from Jerusalem. Everything is from here. So this is the well. This is the well of God. This is the place that God has been.
And
Yeah.
I love that you're saying positive things about Israel, because we don't speak enough about our countries in a positive way. You know, we're always, there's so much negative out there, and I love that you're bringing a positive to it. I would like to know how to say tea in Israel.
It's the same. You say tea.
Oh, tea. Oh, well, I like it.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. You say tea.
I don't have to roll my tongue any funny way.
Eh, You can say tea, they will understand you. It's the same.
Okay.
It's it's Latinic word. It doesn't have a unique word in Hebrew.
Okay.
So you have to come and visit Israel to see that.
That is on my bucket list. My bucket list is pretty long. I have a couple people in Israel that I do want to see. I know Galit Grosser, who does the I Love Me project, who is actually, you're holding in your picture, and anybody who has seen your posters, you're holding the I Love Me
Yeah,
magazine.
Galit is
Yeah.
nice. You know, Galit went. She was here in a tour when I did a tour in the garden, and she was here, and I told I showed the garden, and I talked about my story, and she said, oh my God, I have to know you. I have to introduce you to Liz. And then when she went home and we talked, and then she called me and she said, you know my mother. I said, your mother. And she said her name, and her mother had a kidney transplant with a problem that I helped her.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
Small world, isn't it?
absolutely. And I said, wow, what a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence, it's meant to happen.
Exactly. You were meant to meet Galit.
I went to meet, it's absolutely there.
Yeah.
It was absolutely there.
Well, your feet are planted on the ground, so you're going to meet the people that you need to meet, right?
Yes, yes. I hope for good, always. I aim for good. You know,
Absolutely.
I look at a person, even, we are living in a country, difficult country, with lot of enemies all around it.
Yeah.
And always there's Muslim and Arabs, and I my intention or my purpose is to see the good in every person, not the bad, the good. And if it's manageable, and if it will go together, well, we earn it. If not, okay. But I'm
Exactly.
at the good side and the positive and
And
every.
we go ahead, Hanoch.
No, it's okay.
We actually have Galit in the studio, and she's giving you a thumbs up. She's saying true.
Yeah.
And then we also have Adam from the UK in, who's saying hi.
Hi, Adam.
So, Hanoch, if anybody would like to know more about your story, where could they find you, and how could they get a hold of you?
First, they can send me a message in the Facebook,
Okay.
chat in the messenger, and I will reply. If they have a number in Israel, so it's good. I can give my number, but in the Facebook or in the messenger, I think it's better.
And you're also on Instagram and LinkedIn as well, right?
Yes, yes.
So I'm just going to bring those up so people can get your handles for the viewers that are watching. And for the viewers that are watching the replay later, if you have any questions for Hanoch, you can reach out to me, Miss Liz, or you could reach out directly to him on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Incredible man. Hanoch, what message would you like to give to the men out there that are watching now and that will watch the replay on the importance of self-love?
I will tell you something. First, the men have to respect women.
I like that.
If you don't respect your woman, you are in big trouble. So first, respect your woman. And second, treat everyone that like you want to treat yourself. like you want everyone to treat you. Treat everyone the same way that you want to be treated. If you do that, I guarantee you will have a good time. So first, treat with respect. Second, be aware to what you can do and what you can't do. Look at yourself, know what you can do, know what you can't do, and do it. Don't think too much. Third, love yourself. Because if you love yourself, it will be easier to overcome a lot of things. And this is my 3 things that I'm working through in my life. And enjoy. Just look around all the time. Don't miss anything. Just look and listen and enjoy. And drink a glass of wine.
Oh, glass of wine. I thought you were going to say drink tea. Like we're on tea time here.
No, it's for you, T. For good night.
So, Hanoch, what is your favorite tea? Not wine, tea.
What is my favorite tea?
Yeah.
Lemon tea.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, I like lemon tea. I don't know what it says that I'm like lemon tea, but I like the taste of lemon. Even though it's a bit bitter, it's good.
Well, you make it into lemonade, right?
Yeah, you can do lemonade, absolutely.
And they do make lemonade tea now. There are so many different teas out there.
Yes.
So, what have you learned about yourself for self-love? What tools and tips do you take every day for self-love?
To look at yourself and to see what you have to give to the world. So if you look at yourself and you see, I can tell the story. I can help others. I can do that. Look at yourself and said, okay, what I can contribute today to someone, to anyone, to the surrounding, to person, to an animal, to a tree, to a plant, whatever. What I can contribute to this life. This is the message. And when you love yourself, you can think like that. When you don't love yourself, it's difficult to think that.
Well, self-love has a lot to do with the mindset as well, right? If you
Yes.
if you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you have to love yourself, and when you do that, and then you're aware to yourself, and then you know what to do. Then you can bring the message forward.
Yeah. We really need to self-love ourselves, you know?
Yes, and we have to know that inside of us there is the strength and the power to do whatever we want if we really want it.
I like
We-
that because a lot of people don't do that.
If we really want it, we have the strength and the power to do that. We have it.
Yep.
We just have to give our body and mind a rest and let everything go out. Just free yourself. You have to free your mind, free yourself from the bonding that the reality is bonding us, from all the things.
Yeah. Well, it's like in the garden, right? The garden that you
Yes.
work. You know, you got to pull the weeds in order for the flowers to grow.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we got to do with ourselves is we got to pull the weeds out of us and grow, you know,
You have to
and serve a good tea.
you have to free yourself. You have to let yourself get out of from yourself and just see the surrounding, enjoy the surrounding.
So do you use any affirmations for self-love for yourself, Hanoch?
What? I didn't understand. What
The
you?
self-affirmations, like I am beautiful, I am strong, I am
No.
no.
No. I'm not doing it. It's not helping.
Okay.
I don't believe in that. I look at myself and I see what I can do. I see what I can help. I look at a little thing and I said, okay, I talked today with this person and I showed them what to do. And to tell myself I love myself. It's verbal, but it's not coming from inside. It's have to come from inside you. Then you have the strength to think that, to do so. If you just verbalize it, maybe it will go inside, but you have to come from inside. You have to, when you do things, when you are doing, it brings you out.
Yep.
So you have to look with whatever you do as something you contribute to someone. And you have to look in everything that is something important. If you take weeds from the ground, he said, okay, I'm doing it to let other flowers to see that people are watching, that will enjoy, that will have a good time. So every action I'm doing have a results, have an effect. When I'm saying I have to take the weed, it won't happen if I won't do it.
Yeah.
So this is it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
Well, that's it, right? We talk so much that sometimes we're just talking. We're not growing. We're not healing. We're just saying, well, I love me. But down deep inside, do you really love yourself?
That's it. Do it. Just do it. Enjoy it. Think what will do to others, and that's it.
Yeah. See, and that for me, affirmations are important. But if I'm saying something to myself, I want to be looking at myself in the mirror and saying it so that it goes inwards. It doesn't.
Okay.
I'm not just saying it to say it. You know,
You-
I'm a big person that doesn't just say words. I want action with those words. If
You
I
know,
say I love myself, I want to love myself. I want to love the good, the bad, the ugly. Like I'm just a mixed old cup of tea here. Some of my seeds are a little shaken more than others, and I accept for who I am, and I get that from you as well, Hanoch, that you are who you are, and you accept who you are and what you've gone through, but you look for the positive in everything out there. Like you're such a butterfly. Like I'm sure you got butterflies in those gardens too, because you're you're so
you know,
full of life. Like you
you know,
have
when I
that fight for life.
when I came to the garden to manage in the garden, I don't have a knowledge of managing the garden. So I start to write on a piece of paper what is my purpose. And every time, I sat down and I wrote to do that or to do that, whatever. And I put the paper aside. And then after a few days, I take a new paper and I tried and I wrote it again, but and put it outside and put it aside. And I did that a couple of times. And then I start working on the garden. And after a few years, I took the papers and I look and I saw, okay, I did that, I did that, I did that, I did that, and without meaning, without looking at that every day. I wrote it. I wrote it, and every piece of paper, there was something else. And when I look after a few years, I said, oh, I did it. I didn't want it, but I did it. You wrote it, it's one side, and you're doing it. And after you look, oh, okay, I did it. That's it.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you, Hanoch, for joining me today for Tea Time and sharing your story, your incredible story. And for anybody out there who's watching now or watching a replay, please let me know where you're watching from so I know where you're tuning in from. If you have any questions for Hanoch at all, and you're watching a replay, please send them to me at Miss Liz. I'm open to getting DMs and emails and all that good stuff. And if you would like to have Hanoch on your show to share his story on self-love and the importance of growing, reach out and connect with him. This is his first broadcast, so I'm sure I will see him on many, many more broadcasts out there
Thank you.
in the future. You've done an amazing job, and you have really inspired me today by being here and planting your feet on the ground, and and bringing some joy to my life today, and light today. So you brought the sun to my life. So
Thank you.
we have a couple comments coming in, so I'm just gonna share them. So we have good evening to all from India. So we have a couple countries that are watching and tuning in right now.
Okay.
Miss Liz is a global platform, so there are many different countries coming in. We have Mariah Harris, who will be on Tea Time on January 26th at 3 p.m. And incredible lady. I got to write a blog on her website, so that was posted on January 14th. She will be joining me on January 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. BST time, because she is in Welsh. So she caught the last little bit, and she's from the UK. So we have a couple people from the UK, India, Israel, Canada. We have people from all over. So I want to thank each and every one of you, the viewers out there that are watching Tea Time and supporting Miss Liz and the journey that I'm on. If you would like to know more about Miss Liz, please check me out on Miss Liz's Tea Times. I'm very open. If you'd like to be a guest on Tea Time, please reach out like Hanoch has. And on the 31st of January, I have Dr. Katie Knoll coming in, and she's going to be sharing waffles, but it's not going to be waffles like you think we're eating. She's actually going to be speaking on the abundance and on anxiety and just life. So we're bringing a lot of life cup of teas to Tea Time. So Hanoch, any final words before we wrap up your Tea Time today?
Enjoy yourself and look at the small things that make the life better.
Well, thank you. And again, it was an honor having you here with me today on Tea Time.
Thank you.
And don't be a stranger. Let's stay in contact and let's see how we can make a difference together. And Galit has put something in Israel, so I'm not sure if I'm going to post it and you can tell me what it says.
Okay. Oh, she says she put the flag of Israel.
Oh, okay.
It's the flag of Israel.
And you will teach me how to dance in Israel, and also
When you come here, I will dance with you.
That sounds good. So we have a date. We will dance together, and you can show me the moves from Israel.
Okay.
So again, thank you all to the viewers, and I will see you guys all January 26th with a new Tea Time, and we will make a difference one cup of tea at a time. So thank you again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.